Hey everybody, it's Ken Meeks, Ken Meeks Show. You know what it is. Today I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, Dwayne Ross. So what's up, man? What's going on?
I'm good, brother. How are you? I hope I can live up to that.
You definitely can do that, man. I'm glad to have you. So man, I know you retired, Master Chief. That's a big thing, man. That's great. So I want to give you your flowers right now. But I just want to start, man. I just want to dive into it. Let everybody know. How did you get started? What made you want to join the Navy?
I actually wanted to see the world. And my father was a superintendent at the airport. And I decided that I no longer wanted to go to school. So he decided that he wanted to educate me the proper way, that things would happen without any education. So he gave me a shovel and gave me a hole to dig. And I decided that this is probably not what I wanted to do. So I need to do something different. So I had some friends that was in the service. And so they took me to the local recruiting and everything happened from there.
Okay. So was it like myself, right? I wanted to come in on a buddy system, right? But a lot of my friends couldn't pass the ASVAB. So did you have anybody that you ran around or that you hung out with that, you know, thought about going into the Navy with you? Or it was just your decision on your own?
I didn't. I branched on my own. I was at Clark Atlanta University. And then from there, I decided I wanted to take a break. And most of my friends were either already in the service or still in college. So I kind of did this journey by myself.
Okay. So were you from a struggle town, or did you come from a
silver spoon? I came from a little bit of both. The way I was treated with my parents, I assumed that my family was rich, but I learned along the way that they wasn't. But every time I needed something, I had it. And every time I went to the store, I had 50 cents in my pocket. So I thought we was rich during that time.
So is it safe to say that your father was your inspiration?
Absolutely. My dad was the rock of our family, and my dad was always there in times of need. My dad was always there for advice when needed, and my dad was also there to give criticism when needed as well. So he was my rock.
What position did God place in your life?
My family is very spiritual, and I myself, who don't always worship in the house of the Lord like I should, but I always have a conversation with him every day about what's needed, what I should do, and how I could help serve others as well.
Well, a lot of people, I'm gonna be real with you now. A lot of people in the Navy might say you was hardcore. You ain't never knew God to talk the way you talk.
I was hardcore, but it was a job. I never took it personal. So anyone that served with me realized how hardcore I was. But anyone that served with me realized how many people never went to Captain Mast, how many people never failed an evolution that came around. And it was because I was hardcore, but more importantly, I was always willing to serve them as well. So a lot of times when you're in certain positions, people don't often understand the requirements that you have on them, and they're thinking about self first, and that puts them in that situation.
Well put, man. You know, I've never heard anything bad about you. I know you've been married for how long? Well, I've been married for 30 years, and I've heard a lot of bad things about me. Doesn't also necessarily. That's a whole time, 30 years. Yeah, it is. How did you make 30 years work?
I can't even get one day.
I don't think it had much to do with me making it work. I think it has to do with my wife, Rhonda, making it work and putting up with me for 30 years, because I'm a handful sometimes. Right. So I'm kind of spoiled. I kind of want things my way. So she helped keeps me grounded. So she's been that rock where if I transferred, I never had to worry about her being taken care of or her looking for certain things, because she's self-sufficient, able to take care of herself. So that was a blessing for me.
So you have to get a strong woman.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, every person's definition of a strong woman is different. So it depends on that individual to how strong their spouse is, depending upon what their needs are. So everybody's not the same. So everybody's looking for something, and each person is different for what they need.
So I got a question. Were you both a part of the same religion? Like you both were Christian?
We both are Baptists, but I don't think that had anything to do with why.
So if she was Muslim and you was Christian, you would still make it work?
If she was the type of person she is, absolutely. It wouldn't make me any difference to her religion.
Wow, that's good, because a lot of people say if you don't have the same religion or the same thoughts or the mindsets, you're not equally yoked.
Well, I don't know how that can be true because some people don't have religion as far as the traditional sense what people call religion.
Right.
So again, that would be dependent upon someone else to define how you should be religiously, what you should think, and how you should be. And if you don't allow other people to define you, then you don't have that issue.
Love it. So was your wife the kind that loved the cars and the expensive house? First of all, who picked the house out? Was it you or was it her?
Well, a combination of both of us. So that was one of the last minute things that we had to do, you know, transferring in school, getting ready to start. So you had to settle, but it was a beautiful decision that we made.
So you didn't tell her, hey, I'm paying the bills. If you stay in this budget,
Well,
or did you just let her pick whatever she wanted?
I could say that, but I don't think it would matter. So I think we all could say that, but if they really want something, at the end of the day, they're going to get what they want anyway.
So
it
if a
doesn't
man
really
really
matter.
loves a woman, he gonna give it
He's
to
going
her.
to find a way to make it happen.
Some men may beg to differ.
But my wife is independent, so
Right.
she's not sitting around waiting on me to do anything anyway. She's self-sufficient. She can take it and handle her own, but she knows what she wants. So if she wants something, she's going to speak on it. If she don't care, then it's no big deal. There are some things that in a relationship that I don't care about. For an example, if she wanted to change some drapes or new furniture or whatever she wants to do, that stuff doesn't matter to me. So whatever you want to do, we cool. So let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Yes.
I like that, man. So moving forward, you're in the Navy now, you're in the military. What was the hardest thing about the military that you had to deal with? It could be being away from your spouse.
Well, most of us in the Navy deployed. So we all know how deployments can be. Sometimes you do the geo bachelor thing and you're away from your family.
Which is very hard.
Yes, you know how that can be. The hardest thing for me was to get my people to understand the process and what we had to do and how everything is not about you. And once they understood that, I still have people in the Navy. I can say that I probably made more Master Chief in recruiting than anybody else. And a lot of them are still sitting in the seats as chief recruiters today because of what we did and how they followed the lead and got things done. That doesn't say just because someone didn't reach that level that what we did wasn't successful, because there are people that never became a chief recruiter but that are successful in life because I gave them information, they followed information, and when they needed someone to listen, I was there to listen. A lot of times, some of those people didn't take it personal. Some of the people did take it personal. So the biggest thing for me was to see how I could stop people from taking things personal and realizing that, hey, this is a job that we're doing and this is a situation. Once we get that done, it's over with, we move on.
So what do you say to the person and say to you, you did me wrong?
Well, it depends. It depends on how you felt that I did you wrong. In some cases, I may have done you wrong in your eyes. And there's nothing I'm ever gonna say that's gonna change that. So no matter what, you still have to find yourself and be grounded. What I will say to you is that there isn't anyone that I have a problem with that served with me in the Navy. And there were people in the Navy that I felt that also did me wrong, but I realized when I got out of the Navy, none of that mattered. What you thought was important is no longer important. And the more I allow you to control me by controlling my thoughts and how I feel, and I'm upset when I see you, I realized that I'm giving you more power that I should not give you. So I had to learn that whatever happened in the Navy, happened in the Navy, and it's done now, and you move forward without that.
Right. So what advice could you give that young man or young woman that's in the Navy and they're having a hard time and they don't know if they should get out or if they should stay in? What advice do you have to that person?
I think it's situational. I think you sit down and you weigh the pros and cons. Staying is not for everybody. Okay, you know when it's time for you to leave. And during that time, no matter what someone say to you, if it's that time for you, then it's the right time for you. What I would say to you is, how about you weigh your pros and cons? What are your reasons for staying? And what are your reasons for getting out? And if your reasons for getting out outweigh your reasons for staying, then it's time for you to go. But no one can convince you otherwise. You have to come to the conclusion of that for yourself.
Got it. So do you think everybody should join the Navy?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because it's not for everybody.
Okay, you're right. So as far as college degree goes, right? I know a lot of people that got masters and PhDs, but they're not using it, right? Mm-hmm. So what if my son, he's in school, he wants to drop out. His dad, it's not for me. Like, you're good in sports, you're smart, you're good. He said, I don't want to do it. I want to be an entrepreneur like you. I said, look, I'll join the Navy. I'm in school right now. I don't need it, but I want it for bragging rights, right?
Yes.
So I'm asking you, for the person who's trying to get the degree, like me, I don't need it. So I would tell somebody, you really don't need a degree. You just have to have a plan, have a vision, and stick to it. That's what I would tell somebody. Now what would you say?
If you had asked me,
It's just a piece of paper to me. I just want it.
I got you.
Because I hate not winning.
I got you.
Okay,
But if
good.
you had asked me that same question, probably anywhere from 5 to 6 years ago, I would tell you to go to college and get a college degree because you need it. Realizing how the younger generation today is maneuvering and becoming millionaires and actually getting a skill that they can put to work, I won't say that anymore. It depends on that individual. Now, if you're just going to go into corporate America and you're going to go through that process, then absolutely I would tell you to get a degree because you're going to need it because it's going to get you in the door. You might not work in that field, but having that piece of paper is going to get you in the door.
And the money you want, the range you want.
You can have a degree and still not make the kind of money that you think because even in corporate America, there's still different structures where someone else can have the same degree that you have
So
and they
if you
get
got a
paid more than
master's
you.
degree, I don't mean to cut you off.
Yes.
If you got a master's degree, you mean to tell me it's not a guarantee that you'll be making 6 figures with a master's degree?
Absolutely. There's a lot of people with master's degrees that join the Navy because they couldn't make 6 figures. So no, you can't.
So why go to college?
Well, that's a question that you have to figure out for yourself. Figuring that piece out is knowing what you want out of life and which direction you're going. So if you're that person that wants to be the mainstream and be in corporate, then you would do that. But if you're that person that wants to get a skill and realize you want to start your own business, it's not necessary that you have to do that.
Right, well said. Now, let me say this. He's absolutely right. Go to school, get your degree. I'm just asking him questions, probing him so he can tell me. I want to know what's on his mind. But absolutely get that degree because you got AI, you got all this stuff coming out. You need this stuff. So don't listen to me. I'm just saying for me. But yeah, man, so as far as degree goes, I totally agree with you. So how's life now?
Life is great. I mean, one of the biggest things for me is that entrepreneur thing myself and realizing how can I give back to my servicemen and women, which is why I created the app called Vets Portal, which is totally free. Vets Portal.
Vets Portal.
Yeah, VETSPORTAL. So with that, we're trying to bring the same information that you can get from the VA and that you're paying other people to do. So the bottom line is that the VA is pushing this information and there's other manuals that's pushing this information, but you don't know where to go find this information. So we want to bring that to you so you have access to it. We have physicians that's going to be there on the discussion board and they're going to be posting about different things. We hopefully bring an attorney in to post information, and we're working on now doing a roadmap to discharge or retirement. So you can learn these things that you need to learn before you go to a TAP class and only have a few months to make a decision. So we're trying to catch you with 24 months out, just pushing information that you need that can help you find a job and make this transition a smooth process for you.
I love it. So if I retired, right, and I'm trying to get my 100% disability, who can I go to for that? Well, if they gave me 50% or 60%, but I think I deserve 100%. Who do I go to?
I think that's a great plug that we're putting here. So what I would tell you
help me,
if you was asking me that question, which you are, I would tell you to go to kdvma.com and start there. However, I would tell you there are some other companies online that you can go to that's going to give you the same process, and I would tell you to look at the price point and you decide which route you want to go. But more important than that, I would tell you that if you're trying to do anything with compensation, the first thing you need to do is whatever injuries you have, you need to go to the doctor and get a current diagnosis of those conditions.
Great, man. Well, look, man, it's been good sitting here talking to you. We got a lot of good stuff going on. Tell everybody again the app that you have?
So go to your app store, put in VETS, VETS, portal, 2 words, and then download that app. It's free. It's free for service members, free for spouses as well. And it's just a lot of information so you can make an informed decision to help you out with your VA conversation and also find employment on there as well.
If you're not a vet, I know you know a vet, go get the app, download it now. Nice talking to you.
Appreciate you, brother.
Good.